with Representative Sue Helm of the 104th Legislative District, and today is my Senior Expo. We're holding it at the Giant Community Room on Linglestown Road, and we have lots of vendors here, everyone here to talk to seniors and tell them how to make their life a little bit better and give them information for the future. And I'm going to go around and talk to the vendors, and that way that even if you didn't get to my Senior Expo, you're going to be able to see what happened, and maybe next year you can make it. So let's take a tour around here, and we'll have a great time interviewing everyone and listening to what they have to say about senior issues. Now we're with Dr. Scott Levan at our Senior Expo, and he's Levan Chiropractic. Could you tell me what you do, what your business is all about?
Probably the most important thing is what I do is similar to what you do, and that is I am more interested in getting truth out rather than how I can be served, and I just happen to do that through chiropractic. I love what it is that I do. That's my passion. That's what it is that I believe my mission is, to get more truth out, serve people, be less selfish and more selfless.
Well, tell me, why would I come to you? What would be my problem if I would come to visit your office?
Great question. Why would you come to me? You would come to me simply because if we really cherish and value our health, that is something that we would do while we have it, and we wouldn't wait until we're broken, decayed, and rotted. Similar to good tooth hygiene, we would take care of our teeth while we have our teeth by brushing and flossing, and that's what my hope would be, to that society as a whole would actually take care of their health rather than waiting until they're broken, decayed, or on the back of a tow truck and waiting until a crisis actually sets in.
Well, that's what I hear. I hear a lot of people say, oh, my back hurts so bad. So when I hear them say that, I should say, hey, Scott Levan's the place to go?
That would be ideal, and I appreciate that. And just as important would be something that would be drugless rather than something that would psych our brain out to think that our body is doing better, only to continue to do more harm and destruction, I think isn't really serving to the individual as much as a more natural approach.
Okay. And I see you have a piece of equipment back here. Tell me what do you do with this? What's going on here?
Well, come on over.
Okay.
This is actually a spinalizer, and what I do with this is I actually check people's posture.
Oh, wow.
Posture is the window. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Posture is the window to the spine. So if somebody would have sick posture, they would have sick health. Okay? So what I do with this is I actually check the person's posture by determining whether or not their ear height is level or whether it's tilted, same as the shoulder height.
Could you let's experiment with me, because I know through the years I sit at computers.
Okay.
And I'm looking this way at the computer. I have to remind myself, sit up, and everybody should sit up instead of leaning over that computer. But now, would I get on here? What would you do with me if I came here?
If I can assist you, okay? So one of the points you brought up, one of the points that Representative Sue brought up is that from the sagittal view, the forward head carriage, by looking into the computer, puts a lot of excess stress onto the spinal cord. So not only are we looking at posture from the frontal view, but also from the sagittal view, and that forward head carriage is crucial in regards to nerve conduction from brain to body. So, Miss Sue, please come on up here. Representative Sue, we're going to face myself, yep. You're going to stand right up here.
Am I supposed to stick my toes in
There you go, exactly. So, mainly, this is a preventative preliminary screening just to bring fun and joy to the community. We would do a much more in-depth posture assessment in the office. So what I'm going to do is, if in fact you feel stable enough to close your eyes, chin to your chest, go all the way back up into the sky as if you were to look at the ceiling, and then come back and stop as if you were to look at me.
Do I keep my eyes shut the whole time?
Ideally, the eyes shut, but if you feel dizzy, wobbly at all, keep them open, okay? And then come back and stop as if you were to look at me. You can open your eyes. Don't move, though. So what I would do is I would actually assess your ear height level, Play with me here, Sue. Okay? And we'd also, Representative Sue, we would also assess the shoulder height level in determining what shoulder is higher. And then, if you have a friend with you, I would have them actually assess your posture. So, they're not biased, but we would see whether or not there's any postural deviation or distortion. Let me just fix this. There's absolutely no postural deviation or distortion. You are in perfect health when it comes to posture alignment.
Well, that sounds great, but it's good if people come and talk to you about it here today, and I'm sure they'll all have a
Thank you.
very interesting time and learn a lot.
Thank you.
We are with Richard Solomon of Therapeutic Massage, and he's going to tell me first of all, tell me about your business.
I'm a local area massage therapist. I've been practicing for about 15 years, and I'm in the business for we live in a very stressful society right now, so what I do is try to help people deal with the stress in their lives and give them something to look forward to every week as far as getting massage and just taking a break from the humdrum of work and life and the stress of kids and family and all that.
And do your patients or customers, what do you call them, patients or clients? Okay. Do your clients come to you like on a weekly basis, or how often should they come to you?
It comes down to finances. Traditionally, people used to get a massage once a week or every other week. Society and the economy right now is taking a toll on our business. People are still stressed out more than ever, but have less disposable income. Keeping gas in the car and food on the table is more of a priority, unfortunately. But a lot of people still like to get a massage once a month if they can afford it.
Well, that's very true about our economy, and believe me, we know that we have to work to make the economy better. But right now, you're doing a massage. Tell me what you're doing. That looks like a karate chop.
It's called tapoderment percussion. It's to help stimulate your muscles and knock things loose, knots, to loosen up your back and give you a little better range of motion for going about your daily routine.
And it doesn't, you seem like you were hitting pretty hard, but doesn't seem like she minded it too much.
Right. Well, it's a controlled force. It's a type of massage technique that can go deeper or lighter. Tapoderment percussion is a good muscle stimulator, and it helps wake you up and make you alert. Some massages are totally relaxing and can put you to sleep. That's one of the motions that energizes you and gets your blood circulating.
Now, I know we're at the Senior Expo, and it's a small space here. Each vendor has a small space, but if they would come to your office, what would you do there? Do you have them on a table, or how does that work?
Yeah, I have I typically do 60 to 90 minute table massages. Involves getting your whole body massaged front and back. And chair massage I strictly use for public settings like an expo or a health fair or benefits fair. And it's something you could do fully clothed and not have to use any lotion or oil. So it's more conducive to doing it in an environment like this.
And tell me your name and business again, just so the people that are watching this know how to contact you.
It's Richard M. Solomon. My email address is rms_cmt@yahoo.com. And I'm a local Harrisburg area massage therapist, fully licensed and insured, which is pretty much a requirement now in the state of Pennsylvania.
Tell us, I'm on professional licensure, so that's interesting. Just tell me and tell the public, how long did it take you to get your license, and how difficult is that?
It requires about 500 to 600 hours of education and passing a police background check for Pennsylvania licensure, and having the required. If you graduated school past 2 years ago, there's a required CEUs that you have to take, continuing education units, to keep your education and your techniques current.
And how many hours continuing do you have to do?
You have to do 24 every 2 years. Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, thank you very much, and thank you for being here today. I'm sure everybody's enjoying the massages you're giving them.
Oh, yeah.
Thanks. And now I'm with Bruce Krell, who is Director of Constituent Outreach for our Congressman Lou Barletta. Tell me what you do on a day-to-day basis, and we'll talk about what you're doing here.
Well, within the Congressman's office, we have the distinct privilege to actually serve the 11th Congressional District, which spans all the way from Wyoming County up in Tunkhannock, all the way down to Cumberland County and Shippensburg. And we work with constituents on a daily basis in different federal agencies. Issues can range in different agencies from the VA to Social Security, Medicare, and we just try and act as a liaison between the constituents and the agencies and try and give them the best possible result we can.
And Congressman Barletta has most of the 104th district. I know Congressman Scott Perry has a little bit of Susquehanna Township, but other than that, it's Barletta. So we appreciate everything that you do for my constituents. But tell me what you have here today and what people are asking you today at this event.
Today we have all information here for our 4 offices within the district. We're looking at our office in Harrisburg, located at 4813 Jonestown Road. We have our office down on Lowther Street in Carlisle. So we're trying to get information and promote the accessibility of our office. Material-wise here, we have information from the Department of Veterans Affairs. We have the 2013 Veteran Benefit Book here. We have information from the Social Security Administration, the SBA, the Small Business Administration. So we have everything that falls in a federal level, and we try and promote it and assist our constituents as best we can.
And I know that Congressman Barletta is talking about Syria a lot right now, and I know he's saying no, 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 and believe me, I 100% agree with him. We can't go into Syria, so we appreciate that he's representing us what I think is the best point of view. Have people asked you about that at all today?
We've not actually had the questions asked here, but we recently had town halls where that was the essentially the main topic of discussion. Obviously, you go into federal benefits, that's a big area, immigration, but the Syria conflict right now has been a broad topic of discussion. And the congressman, he's thinking through everything. He's taking the facts, sorting through them. And certainly it's going to take a lot for our country to take action, and I think he's going to support the thoughts and the opinions of the 11th Congressional District as best he can.
Well, we appreciate that. I know that you help us a lot, and once in a while you're in our district office.
Yes.
Not in Susquehanna Township, but in the upper end, so the people the upper end of the district can also have contact with you. And how often are you there?
We're there twice a month. We're there on the first and third Tuesdays from 10 until noon up in Elizabethville. And again, it's just a way for our office to be accessible for all the constituents of the 11th District. And when we reach out to northern Dauphin County, we usually run into some good folks, and we're trying to help them out as best we can.
And that's what, when the constituents are viewing this, if you have a state question, you call my office. If you have a federal question, you call Lou Barletta's office. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
And now I'm here with Colleen Washinger from the Dauphin County Veterans Affairs. And Colleen, first of all, tell me your title.
Veteran Service Officer.
And what do you do on a daily basis?
Our office assists veterans and their families in filing for benefits through the VA, be it compensation claims or pension claims. And we also assist those veterans who are in need of financial assistance, possibly with overdue rent or behind in utility bills. And we do the best that we can to try and get them the assistance they need to get out of that bad situation.
Well, I'm sure that sounds very good to a lot of veterans watching this program. Tell me, how do they get in contact with you? Because lots of times people hear things, but they really don't know how to reach you. How would they do that?
Our office is located in downtown Harrisburg. They can contact us by telephone at 717-780-6356.
And what are you doing here today? What kind of brochures do you have, and what are people asking you today?
We have different brochures on various benefits offered through the VA, as well as state programs and local county programs. Many of the questions today are, how do I obtain a copy of my DD-214, which we're able to assist with, and they're just checking up on status of claims, because as many know, the claim status is a backlog and taking longer than anticipated for many of those claims, and we're trying to assist those veterans and families in getting those claims pushed through.
Well, we definitely thank all our veterans. And in November, my legislative office is having a veterans event. So if you haven't signed up for that yet, please contact my office. We have it every year. So I'm trying to get like a database of all veterans, and that's been really hard to do. So if you're a veteran, please call my office and let us know who you are. Give us your name and phone number. So I appreciate, Colleen, what you're doing here today, and keep up the good work, and thank you very much. And I'm here with Nathan Bittner, and he's the owner of 3 funeral homes in the area. And I'm going to have him tell you about the funeral homes and what it is to be the owner, and just tell me the whole story here.
Well, I actually came to Harrisburg 16 years ago. My wife, Krista Bittner, and I owned the 3 funeral homes: Hetrick Bittner Funeral Home on Walnut Street, the Ronald Smith Funeral Home in Duncannon, and Jesse H. Geigel Funeral Home here on Lingelstown Road.
Nathan, I'd like to ask you about cremation because that seems to be becoming very popular. Like, I think 20 years ago you didn't hear much of it. I mean, you did hear, but not like you do now. So could you just tell me about the process, like what makes people determine what they want to do?
Yes, cremation has been more on the rise. We're starting to see more of a trend that more people are starting to choose to do cremation. Because of that, back in 2008, we decided to put our own crematory in at the Jesse H. Geigel Funeral Home here on Lingelstown Road. Our crematory is designed that we can actually have a service inside the crematory itself. It has a chapel there.
I didn't know that. I didn't realize there's a chapel right there with the crematory. And when would they, like when would that happen? When the process is being done or immediately? How does that work?
They could actually have a little bit of a service before the process actually begins. If the family chooses to be there, to be present during the cremation process, they're more than welcome to stay the whole time. One of the things that we offer with our crematory is we offer the crematory. It's a 24-hour inspection at any time. If anybody wants to come to see the crematory to inspect it, to see where their loved one is, they're more than welcome to come to it. One of the reasons why we put the crematory in is we wanted to be able to ensure 100% accuracy what we do. Dealing with a funeral home that owns their own crematory is an added benefit to those families. If it's a funeral home that does not own their own crematory, typically the body is shipped out of the county, taken to another provider. The funeral director loses a little bit of control in that instance. So by having the crematory on site gives us reassurance that we know that the ashes that we're giving back is the individual that we're working with.
Okay, well, I appreciate that information. And I know another important aspect, and something probably most of us would hate to do, but pre-planning today is very important. Tell me about pre-planning. Like, when should somebody come to visit you and talk to you about it, and how extensive is it, and just how do you get to that frame of mind? I mean, I know I should do it, and I think everybody knows they should do it, but do we do it? That's always a question, but just talk a little bit about pre-planning.
Yeah, pre-planning is becoming more and more popular. We do the pre-planning. We treat it as though we're going over everything to do the funeral today. With pre-planning, that allows you to lock the price in. It also protects the money in the event that anybody would ever go into a nursing home. So if they have to go into a Medicaid spend down, all this money is protected. The way that we do it, we can either use it through a trust or through an insurance product. The money never becomes the funeral home's money. When the folks do the pre-planning and they decide that they want to pre-fund it, they should be making sure that they're not writing a check out to the funeral home or to the funeral director. They should be making it out to either a trust or to an insurance carrier. Locking the price in, you don't have to worry about the price going up. There's certain items, though, that we can't guarantee. Typically, like cash advance items, we cannot guarantee when you prepay those.
What do you mean by cash advance?
Yeah, the items that can be locked in would be the funeral home services, merchandise, casket, urn, or vault. The cash advance items are the items that we can't lock in. Those would be death certificates, the newspaper notice, maybe the opening and closing at a cemetery, any donations that need to be given out to an honor guard or a clergy for doing the services.
All right, so basically your services you can lock in, but the unpredictable, because you never know how much a newspaper is going to go up for advertising, you can't lock that in. But that sounds like a very important thing to do, and a peace of mind if you come and do it for yourself. And it's such a blessing to the family that you took care of yourself, and the family doesn't have to make the decision after you're deceased. So I think it's great, and keep up the good work. We appreciate what you do for the community. I know you're a community player, and you're not just there making money for yourself. You're helping the community a lot, and we appreciate that.
Thank you.
Thank you. And now I'm with the Dauphin County Sheriff, Jack Lotwick. Jack, tell me what you do on a daily basis. What do people call you about, or what happens with your job?
Well, most of the times we do 5 basic things. One, we protect the courthouse. We transport about 5,000 to 6,000 prisoners every year from all over the state, not just from Dauphin County. And then we are in the court, and we serve civil papers, protections from abuse orders. We have a warrant team that goes out and picks up bad guys, and we issue gun permits. So that's about 5 basic things we do.
And today you're handing out all sort of information to people. What are these silver things that you're handing out?
This is a gun lock. This would be put into a firearm, either a handgun or a rifle or a shotgun, and it makes it that you won't be able to shoot the gun because you can't close the cylinders. If that lady over in the West Shore would have had that on her 22, that little boy wouldn't be dead.
That's the first thing I thought of when you said what that was. I thought of that instantly. So they're really important that people have them in their house.
Right, and we've had at least 10 or 12 people coming up to us and talk about it right away. They want to know what these are, and would that have helped? Yes.
And you're handing those out free.
Absolutely.
So free here. Call the sheriff. I'm sure he'll see that you get one. It's a protection. If you have a gun, it's so important.
Yes, and we have them at the courthouse, and if somebody wants to come into the courthouse and get them, we'd be more than happy to give them out.
And I see you have a deputy over here. Could you introduce your deputy?
Yeah. This is Jamie Straining. Jamie's one of our canine handlers, and we have two dogs, and they're trained in explosives. And we're very proud of her. She's been doing this about a year, a little over a year maybe, and just they do a great job. They're on call regionally. They've been down as far as Virginia. So we go and we help out the other police departments also.
All right, Jamie, come on over here. Just tell me a little bit about what happens when you're working. Tell me exactly what's going on.
On a daily basis, I do civil work, but I'm subject to call for 24/7. We have explosive dogs. We go anywhere from, like he said, Virginia to local schools, local businesses. Anybody that has a bomb threat, we go to.
Well, thank you. And thank you both for what you do on a daily basis and for being here. And thank you for telling us about what you give out free there that will help people protect when they have guns. I'm now with Suzanne Schaefer with the Department of the Attorney General. Suzanne, tell me what you do on a daily basis.
I do what I actually love every day. I protect care-dependent persons and especially our seniors. And we do that by investigating complaints of neglect and abuse of the care-dependent or elderly population.
I know that you're always advocating and you're a great speaker. And you tell me though, do people call you and you go to see them, or is everything done on the phone, or how does it work? Do they have to come in to meet you, or tell me how they get to really talk to you?
They absolutely do not have to come into our office. If they have a concern that somebody's been abused or neglected by a care provider, they can simply reach out to myself. I take the complaints. I'd be glad to speak to them. They can reach me at 717-712-1220. And what I'll do is ask them a lot of questions about who was providing care and services to them and why do they believe that they've been neglected or abused. We also look at issues of financial exploitation and also Medicaid fraud. Medicaid fraud is part of our medical assistance program here in the Commonwealth, and it's when doctors or therapists or pharmacists bill for services that our seniors did not receive. And our division also looks at that. So they're certainly welcome to call me anytime. If I am not the right person and our division is not the right person, we'll certainly try to help them find the right person.
Well, unfortunately, fraud seems to be a big thing these last several years. Like, what other kind of fraud is there? Because people are being abused all the time. And just tell me, what other issues would they call you about?
Primarily, I do health care. So they call me when they have had a care provider that has not shown up but billed for hours they serviced. They've had a nurse not care for them as the doctor has ordered, and they've ended up having an injury because of that. Or from a child of theirs that lives with them in guarantee to take care of them, and they don't, and they end up sustaining an injury or a life-threatening moment because of not getting the care and services they needed.
And please feel free to call Suzanne. She's always, wants to talk to you and help you. And today you're helping a lot of seniors at my Senior Expo. Like, what do you have here on the table? Like, what are we giving out today?
I actually joined forces with our healthcare protection and our consumer protection side of the house. And what we have today, we were handing out eyeglass cleaner. We were handing out phenomenal pens that also had highlighters and pencils. But more importantly, we hand out information such as our booklet that speaks to the seniors about what they can do if they believe that they've been financially exploited, whether that be a home improvement company or whether that be the do not call list, the ever famous do not call list. And we've heard a lot about that today, that people are still getting those calls even though they're registered. Our office wants to know about that. We are trying to actively put a stop to that.
Do not call us. Like a lot of people have cell phones and not a home phone at this point. Is there a number to stop those calls for cell phones?
There is, and it is actually the same number that they can register. We have complaint forms with us today, and if they're receiving those kinds of calls, whether it's their cell phone or their house phone, they can fill this form out, and somebody on what we call the civil side of our house or the consumer protection side of the house will investigate that. Unfortunately, what we're finding out is the numbers that are showing up on caller IDs are actually bogus phone numbers, so it makes it really hard, but we will do our best to try to make it stop for them.
Wow, how interesting. But we appreciate what you're doing all the time for us on a daily basis, and especially being here today at our Senior Expo. You're always here, you're always helping us, and thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Representative, for having us again this year.
Thanks for watching my Senior Expo. I hope it was helpful to you and you learned a lot. But if you still have some questions about legislative issues or state-related issues, please give my offices a call, and the phone numbers will appear on the screen shortly. So tune in every month for my legislative report. It was great doing this for you, and I hope it was wonderful for you. Thank you.